everybody. Welcome to Amy's Inspiration Station on the Altenew Facebook and YouTube channels. And I am so excited for you to be here. Angel is behind the badge today, and she's going to be helping me out, adding some links to some of the products that we're using. And today we are talking about ways with washi. So I'd love to know, is washi a staple in your craft room? Is that something that you happen to use a lot? Let me know. And I want to share some of my little tricks. I use washi in a lot of different ways, and I want to share some of those with you today. So, hey, Anne. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Roxy. Hey, Sue. I hope everybody is having a fabulous day today. And Angel just let us know that if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card. And I have to say, I think there's some washi tapes on sale, some pretty good sales. So head on over with that $15 gift card. Angel will be drawing that name from the comments in the chat, and she will be posting that after we are live. So let us know where you are sharing this while we are live, and you'll be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing, and thank you, Roxy. So it's so nice. And Sue, you have some washi. Sue, this might be a tough day for you because I'm going to tell you, you might want to be getting some washi after today with all the kind of the cool things we can do with it. Hi, Cece. And I'm so happy for you guys that we are here. And hi, Amy. Yes, it's another Amy out there. It's so nice that you are here. So I'm going to go ahead and head down to my craft mat because, of course, I have again over-prepared. And I'm trying to get through 3 cards. Will we do it? I don't know. Hey, Dean. It's so nice. And Nancy, oh, I bet you're having fabulous weather out there, Nancy. And Helen, again, I might be a little bit enabling today. We'll see. But there are some pretty good sales because I had to pull some links for today. And there might be some good sales. So let's go ahead and head down to my craft mat. And as you can see, this is the washi I pulled. This, by the way, is like maybe a quarter of the Altenew washi I own. I have a big bin and with some like little buckets in there, and that's where I keep them. And Altenew has a really fabulous array of washi tapes with widths and patterns and all kinds of fun stuff that we have. And this is the one I'm going to start out with today, which is called Botanical Rhapsody. And I think I've shared this before, but I'll share it again. Just like, if you happen to swatch out your, paints and your coloring pencils, I swatch out my washi. So this is my swatch book. I have everything here, and then I just swatch it out. And that way I can see what it looks like. It reminds me of what the heck I have. It really helps. And so these are all the washis that I own right now. I put myself on a little washi hiatus. So I try to get, to try to use it. So it's done. Oh, that's a great idea, Roxy, to hang it on a ring. And that way you have it, right? So that way you know exactly what it is. And I have to say that I love this first one, which is the Botanical Rhapsody, because of the fact that it's this beautiful, huge, large florals. And you can color this in. You can keep it as it is. You can put it over colored cardstock, and because it's transparent, that will come through. So it's really fabulous. Oh, it wasn't Nancy. We're going to show you. I'm going to do that today. So I will show you, Nancy. This is our first card for today. This is with the Botanical Rhapsody. And I just used some artist markers, and I also added the 1-inch gold foil washi tape. And with these letters, and these letters are from the Fine Alphabet die set. I love this because it's such a nice size for that one. Yeah. So it's, but we will go ahead and take a look. And then I have this little butterfly we're going to make over here too. All right. So I will go ahead and get started. So the thing about washi tape that makes it a little bit hard is taking it off the roll, because it can get like a little tangled and a little bit that way. But I have a transparent and translucent. Transparent means you can absolutely see through it, and translucent means that there is light that will go through it. That is the difference from what I remember, Sue, of transparent and translucent. And hey, Sherry, and hi, Jessica. I hope you are doing fabulous today. All right, so this is a very, very wide washi, as you can tell. So the width of this guy, I think is 7 inches. Yep, that is 7 inches wide. And so I am just going to roll this out enough. I'm going to get it nice and flat. And you can see I have it sticky side up. And then I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm just going to plop it right down. And I realize it's going to hit right on those really, really large, but I want to get some of these small guys. So I'm going to go over here. I know I'm going to lose a little bit of it, but that's okay. I'll handle that. All right. So now that I have it, I'm going to grab a large pair of scissors. And I'm just going to start to cut this. And I'm going to leave a little edge because I want to wrap that washi right around the edge. And this is kind of one of my favorite things to do, is just to use washi as a background for this. Now, when I fold this over, now I got this gigantic edge over here, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut that down. That's the one washi you have, Helen. Helen, I got to tell you, pull this out, grab some artist markers, super great. And Nancy, I'll show you some tips about this if you have trouble coloring on washi, because you do have to be mindful and you got to be a little careful because it takes a little while to dry. And you have this really pretty strip. I'm going to hold on to that. And I just grab that and I can just wrap that around my washi. So that way I can use that for later because I can keep picking that up because it's washi tape. So it's not super, super tacky. Now what I do is I just take the edges, the corners, and I just clip into those corners and make a little diagonal. And that's going to help me with my folds. So just go right around. And again, this is a big fella. So there we go. All right. And then I'm just going to fold those edges up nice and tight. Anything that's extra, I'm just going to go ahead and cut off. It's not a big deal. And washi is nice and thin. And you'll see I'll have some extra hanging over, but I'm just going to cut all of that off. And this is my back panel of my card front. So nobody's going to see this because eventually this will end up on a card front and I won't have to worry about it. All right. So then I'm just going to flip that over and I'm just going to go ahead and cut all of these off. So, hi, Dawn. Yes, Tracy, this is so pretty. Sherry, I might, hopefully, well, maybe I'll change your mind, Sherry. Washi tape is just that, like, it just adds a little extra flair. And I have some extra examples just from some past cards I've made just to kind of show some different ways to use washi. But this is my first one, which is a background. And we can actually color the background in with artist markers. So I grabbed... because this washi tape is just really so light and pretty, I didn't want to use a lot of color. I didn't want to use like a ton of color and color all of these in. So I'm just going to give kind of the whisper of color. So I have over here, I grabbed some pink, I have some green, and I have some teal. So, but yeah, Sherry, this is just, I mean, just even on a card as a background, just with the sentiment, it looks so pretty as it is. I'm just going to add a little color to it. So, and Angel, I'm going to echo Angel's sentiment. Thank you, Thank you for sharing this live while we are live. Angel will be pulling a winner from all of the comments. So please make sure that you're commenting as we go along. And you will be entered to win a $15 gift card to Alternate. All right. So these artist markers are alcohol based. This has like a little bit of a waxy coating. So if I go ahead and I just put this color down, I can pull that off relatively easy. You can't even see it anymore. And that will come right off. So I have to make sure that when I put that color down, I let it dry and don't budge it and don't mush with it. So all I'm going to do, this is Coral Berry. I'm just going to add a little bit of color. And you can probably barely see that. And it's kind of pilling up a little bit right on there, but it's just a little faint whisper, of a color. And I'm going to do that all along on my flowers, on my big wide flowers. Now this is Frosty Pink, and I can just come in and just add, just kind of pull that color, mute it even a little bit more, and just pull that color just a little bit more up that petal. So that's all I'm talking about. When I'm talking about coloring, that's it. So I'm also going to come in here to these and just add just a little wisp of color. And I'm just going along where the gray sections are to just color those in pink. And this is the frosty pink, so this is very, very light. I'm going to add in a little bit more color from that coral berry. And this is pretty. I've done this with purples. You can kind of make this whatever it is that you want, because that color is going to convey that emotion. And so you can add just a little wisp of color. And again, not touching it, cannot touch it, cannot touch it. But Sherry, good old wallpaper, right? Good old wallpaper. All right, so now those are my flowers. I got one more little flower here. So I'm just going to go ahead right up there and just add in a little bit more of that pink. And this was really, really quick and fast to do because all of everything is done for you. And you don't even have to color in every single flower. You can just do a little bit of spotlight and just do what it is that you want. Yes, that's what I was saying, Audrey. How long to dry? I would say, Jeanette, I give it like a good 20. I don't even think that's probably even too long, but I give it a good 20 minutes. But you'll see from my first flower. So I've been talking for what, like a couple minutes? Like I'll come in here and that's already dry. Like that's not moving. Not moving at all. So that's starting to sink in. But again, because it has that waxy coat on, no, I don't need to heat set it at all, Jeanette. Don't need it. And Tracy, yes. And you saw Audrey put it in right now that this is on sale. So yeah, this is such a pretty, pretty washi tape. So now I'm going to come in and I have this blue. So I pulled Volcano Lake and Mountain Mist. So Volcano Lake is a little bit darker. And I think of this color as like, you know, eucalyptus. So I'm just going to come in and just do just a little touch of this brighter teal. And I'm just thinking of it like eucalyptus. And I'm just going to come in. There's a couple of little stray little petals. And then if I want to go further up the leaf, I'm going to grab the Mountain Mist. And I can just push that up just a little bit. Oh, sorry. This is, yeah, Mountain Mist. And so pretty. So again, just a little bit of blue just gives it a little touch of color. And you can already see that little difference just to show that versus the washi. Just that little bit of color just kind of hints at it. All right, and then I'm going to grab the green, and I could do more than I want, but I'm just going to do this on the ginkgo and a couple of these other leaves. So I grabbed just green, and this is a little dark. Normally I would have picked the one that's a little bit lighter. And I just want to point out, as I just put that down, you can kind of start to see it beat up a little bit. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of green here. Again, just a touch of green. And I'm going to come in right to these leaves, and I'll do just a little bit over here. And I'm going to drag that up just a little bit further with Minty Mint. And I picked this because it's a little bit brighter of greens. All right, just tight. Now, again, I'm not touching any of those other, anything that I've done so far. And I'm just going to do like a little hint here. Okay. All right, and that's it. I'm done. I could add some yellow if I wanted to, but that's all I'm going to do. So again, just to show you, the pinks are already dry. They're not moving. I'm not going to touch the green yet, but that's it. So it's really super easy to do. And Dean, this tape is gorgeous. So absolutely gorgeous. And Vicki, thank you for sharing. And you too can be like Vicki. If you share this live while we are live, you will be entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And Angel is behind the badge today. So she is the one helping us out and putting in some links for shopping. So thank you, Angel, for being out there so much. All right. So you can tell I did a little prepping Oh, that's so great, Jeanette. You've been working with the rainbow washi tape. You know, I was gonna pull that, Jeanette, but I decided to go a different way. But I have that, and I have some examples with some other different types of washi tape. So maybe you might grab an example from today. All right, so I have my sentiment right here, but I want to make that sentiment pop because I could put that on here, but it gets a little lost with the pattern. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. But I'd like to layer my washi tape. So I just kind of take my card and I'm like, which way does it make sense? So I like it this way. So I'm just going to grab my washi tape. This is the 1-inch gold foil, which is super great. Oh, Patricia, thank you so much for sharing this to Facebook. And you guys, like Patricia, can be entered to win a gift card. Let us know where you are sharing this live while we are live. All right, I'm just going to come up about a 1/2 inch from the bottom, and I'm using the grids lines on my mat to make sure that I am straight-ish. And I'm just going to come and just cut this. And again, I'm keeping myself and making sure that I have a little bit on each edge because I'm just going to fold that over. And that's going to give me that nice crisp edge. And if you ever are not sure, you can take a little glue and just put those on the edges and that'll be all set. Oh, thank you so much, Jeanette, for sharing this. Much appreciated. Now when I put that hello in, now you can really see it start to pop off the page. And it looks so super nice. Now I wanted to add something a little bit more. So I'm just going to glue this whole hello down. You do have to wait because we're gluing this on top of a foily washi. You do need to make sure that that sits. So I'm going to put something on top of that when I add my glue. But I really like this little butterfly, and I thought this would be cute. And this is coming from the Bountiful Butterflies stencil set. This is such a pretty set. I should have grabbed my example cards that I did a while ago. And you can do a background with the butterflies, or you can do individual butterflies. And I would recommend getting the die set that goes with this because you can cut out a large butterfly and then 2 little tiny butterflies. And you can stencil these guys in. So we're going to really quickly stencil this in. So I'm going to grab stencil 3. I'm just going to put this guy over to the side. And the way this stencil works is there's 2 parts, a top and a bottom. And then there's the little butterfly body and then his little antennae up here. And so I'm going to start with the top. Now, my little butterfly is going to move on me. So I want to put down some satin masking tape just to make sure. And I have a whole pile over here. So I will get that satin masking tape. And I'm just going to take the bottom of my butterfly because I'm doing the top of him first. And I want him to be soft. I don't want this to be like a bold in your face kind of butterfly. So I want him to be really soft. So I'm actually using the Frozen Delights ink set. And I'm pairing that with the Soft Pastels ink set. And these come in groupings of 6. So this is the Frozen Delights ink set. And this is the Soft Pastel ink set. And it's just nice because this is like my go-to rainbow when I do my Altenew rainbow. And Patricia, the alphabet die set in lowercase, yes. I have a couple of them. I like this one because they're nice. They're like a little bit thinner. Really, really versatile to use. Is he on regular paper? Yes, Jeanette, I should have mentioned that. I already die cut him out, and he is on regular paper, not on washi. Just because it's easier to do that. All right, so I'm going to grab this and these 2. All right. So I'm actually going to start out with the strawberry. And strawberry is from the Frozen Delights set. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of ink. And what I want to do is create a gradient. So I'm going to add as much color as I can right off of the stencil. And that is going to allow me to create a little bit of a darker shade and a lighter shade. Oh, hey, Sue. Looking forward to oh my gosh, Sue, is your stamp wheel coming tomorrow? Mine is still in New York. I have been stalking my stamp wheel. Cannot wait for it to arrive. So I cannot wait. So this is just this little butterfly. He's really, really quick and easy to do. And so I'm just adding that strawberry. So this is even just the strawberry, which is a really, really light pink. And it's a little bit of a brownie pink, but I'm just leaving that little section up there. In fact, I'm going to go over it just to kind of drag that ink up to fill that in. All right, now I'm not even going to change this. And what I want to do is I just want to add in a little bit of rouge. And this is from the soft pastel set. I'm not going crazy with this. So I'm kind of tapping off my color. And this is just adding a little bit more pink. And then I'm just kind of dragging that up over the top of my wing. I always like to kind of add just a little bit of orange. So again, just grabbing this, and all I'm doing is just adding a little bit of orange to the top of this. So there's the top wing of my butterfly. Amy, what is this stencil? This stencil is Bountiful Butterflies. When was this one? This was 2021. So put this on your list. And I will let you know, Sue, what we have been doing. So I will catch you up. But Bountiful Butterfly stencil. And this one will make a background, or you can do individual butterflies if you have the dies. Love this stencil. I love using it with embossing paste because it creates all of this texture to it. All right, so here's my little butterfly. Now I'm going to take my tape. I'm going to tape the top wing. And now I'm going to focus on stenciling the bottom. And this, of course, is super easy to line up. And then I'm just going to put this down. I'm going to do this in yellows and oranges, just to give it a little bit of difference from the top. So I'm going to go the same method. And this time I'm using orange sorbet. And this is from the Frozen Delights ink set. And these are very, very light inks. These are fabulous to have in your collection because they really do add just another piece to your inks. It just adds another layer to them. All right, so this is Lemon Ice. I'm just adding a little bit of yellow because I want this to be a little bit more of a yellowy orange. So I'm just putting those right on top. And then I'm going to end it with Sunkissed, which is orange from the soft pastel set. And I'm going to stick right on the edges here with this. And I'm leaving that kind of center part a little bit lighter. Okay, so that's my little butterfly. Ian, yours is coming today? Oh my gosh. Gosh. I am really excited. When I get that sucker, I think I'm going to be locking myself in the craft room and just playing when he's here. All right, so I'm really quickly going to do the little butterfly body. And I'm going to do this in Mint Chai. Let me just grab another color. And these are the mini blending brushes. And these are great for just these types of techniques where I only, I'm adding in quite a lot of color, but I'm trying to localize where the heck it goes. So we got our little butterfly guy, and then I'm going to do his little antennae. And this one I'm going to pick in Pistachio. And then I'm just going to add him on. So when he comes off, he has some nice color, but I want to give him a little bit of definition. And so I'm going to show you what I do with that. So I'm actually going to grab, so where we've done so far is I've taken the Botanical Rhapsody washi tape. I made a background, colored it with some artist markers, added in that the 1 inch gold foil tape. These letters were die cut from the Fine Alphabet stamp set, die set. And I die cut them with 2 layers of white and 1 layer of black, just gives it a little halo. And then I used Bountiful Butterflies in order to create my little butterfly. And he fits, look, he looks so cute there. So I'm going to grab my Altenew board. And I'm going to give him a couple of little ridges here. Oops, I think I have a furry visitor. I apologize in advance. But I think those of you with furry visitors understand what's going on. So I'm going to just put him in. And I know these go all the way down. And so I'm just going to tilt him so he's coming down. So I'm just going to give a little bit of ridges to my little butterfly. And I'm going to hold this up just to show you what the effect is. Can you see that? So it literally just gives it a little effect. So just by doing those little scoring, it takes our, it just gives it a little bit. So now I'm going to do the lower one. So I'm going to tilt my butterfly. So these are straight up and down. And I'm just going to go ahead and just score for my butterfly. So this is just a lower wing. So now when I hold him up, he looks like he's flying. He's got some little edges to him. He's so cute, right? Yeah, right, Tracy? It's like so pretty. Oh, yes. And Vicky, I know I can't see it. And yes, Jeanette, this is such a cute thing because really, really simple, using that scoreboard. And I have to say this tool that Altenew provides is great because it's got that little tip, that little nib to it. I tried it with a different bone folder, but I like that one a little bit better. All right, so now let's assemble this guy. And I just want to put these side by side. So because of where the tape was when I pulled it off the roll, these two cards are ending up looking a little bit differently because I got a different part of the pattern in it. All right, so let me grab my glue. I didn't end up popping him up because I wanted him to be behind the letters. And I am not, normally I take some washi tape and kind of put these out and, make sure that they're straight, but I'm actually going to use the washi tape itself as a, to make sure that they're straight. So I want to make sure that they are exactly where I want them to be right over the washi tape. And you really got to make sure that they are down. They're going to move on you for a little bit, so just be mindful of that. Just be careful as you kind of put these down. And you do need to put something heavy on top of these guys and just let them sit in a dark corner by themselves until they are all dry. So yeah, it's really cute. Getting the storing tool. Yeah, so what I do, Vicky, is I don't shut that drawer the whole way. I always make sure that it's a little bit out. Now, after I'm done gluing these letters, specifically this L, I'll pull that out and show you what I mean on that one. All right, and again, these are gluing. I'm putting glue down. I would, and I should have, to be perfectly honest, used the Altenew double-sided adhesive, the sticky paper. And when I did these, and that was a total mistake on my part, because then I wouldn't be having this problem because they would be sticking on their own. But now I got a problem. All right, so they're still a little gluey, and I'm okay with that. And I know what I'm getting myself into here. All right, so now I'm going to take my little butterfly. Just going to add a little glue. And he's kind of big for this, so I don't want to put him above, I want to kind of put him behind the H. So I'm going to put him right here. I'm going to hold my H down and just tuck him right underneath the H. And there he is in all of their glory. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this here. And then I'm going to grab that scoring tool. And Vicki, I'm going to show you what to do. So you'll notice I don't keep it all the way closed. Can you see that it's just slightly up? And that way I can get my little fingernail in there in order to lift that drawer up. And then my little tool, and I love this little drawer because my little tool fits great in there. Now, if you end up and you're like, well, I don't have that, Amy, how do I get it open initially? So I'm going to push it all the way down. I will take, so now it's really, really in there and it's hard to get your little tool, out. I will grab my fine tip scissors. I will grab something and I will just go ahead and put that in there just to give it a little bit of a wedge, and then I can pull it and then just make sure you don't put it all the way back in again. That's my tick. That's my little trick for you guys on that one, but the scoring tool. All right, so I'm going to pull him aside and, oh, he's so pretty, right? Okay, so I'm going to push him up here. So that's our first card. And again, he's a little drying over there. And I might only have room for one more card today. So I think I want to do this one. Does that one look pretty good? versus this one. So I think I'm going to do this card with you. This card is actually pretty easy. This is just four, 1, 2, 3, and 4 different washi tapes that I layered together, and I just cut it on the diagonal. But I do need to, and then I use that extra piece to cut out my my congrats. But let me do this one with you guys, and then if I have time, I'll do this guy. All right, so for this one, I used the flower bed embossing folder. And I love, these like embossing folders that just have like this massive in your face floral. It's not totally my jam. So what I like to do is I like to cut these down into pieces, but really, so that way it kind of breaks that up a little bit. And that's what I did in this case. So this is that embossing folder that I inked up, but then I cut it apart, added washi tape. You can see that that's the gold string washi tape in the background. And then I just added the 1/2-inch foil washi here. This, believe it or not, this blue, that's this washi tape. So I die cut out that washi tape. So we have actually 3, 1, 2, and 3 types of washi tape on this one. So let's, so this was 2, 3, and 4 washi tapes. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm on the flower bed 3D embossing folder. I'm going to ink up the side that has the Altenew writing on it. All right, I'm going to do. Hey, Brandon, how are you doing? Yes, and I agree, Sue. I love these embossing folders. I don't always use them as much as I should. Sometimes, I don't know. I don't know if I forget about them or what, but I really love to use them with mixed media ink because I feel like the mixed media ink, the color is so like saturated and they stay on really well. So it's not like they dry very, very well, but it's really nice. Oh, Brandon, it's opening day here for baseball. Oh, you are, and you're waiting for the Astros today. Well, the Sox, actually, they went off at 1 o'clock. I don't know how they did. I'll have to go and take a look. All right, so I'm going to grab my mini blending tool. Now, I know people, and I know a lot of you are about to cringe because I do use these for ink, regular ink, like dye ink, and I use them for the mixed media ink. I just really make sure that I clean them off as much as possible. And I think if you guys can't see what I'm doing, let me know and I'll put a piece of white. In fact, I think I'm just going to put a piece of white cardstock under here so that way you can see what I'm doing. There we go. In fact, this will help me because it'll help me where I want to put my card anyway. All right, there we go. You guys can see that now. Oh, wow. That's great, Sue. Those are nice ones. I don't have those. Oh, Brandon, can you tell me the final score for Boston? How did they do? I have this theory that if they lose on opening day, then we're going to have a good season. So I hope they lost today. All right, so I'm just going to take this. This is the Persian blue. It's not the darkest, but it's the 3rd darkest for the blue series for mixed media inks. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to lightly just brush this. I'm not like digging in. I'm really just going really light. And the reason why I'm not using the pad to just go ahead and give a nice sweep of color over all of these is because I want to add some green and I want to add some yellow. So I'm just kind of adding just a little bit of color. And again, I'm sweeping it. I know you can't see, but I'm really being very, very light-handed as I'm going along. And I'm doing the larger like roses and then these little daisies in the background. I'm just going kind of light with them. All right. And I think you guys can see this. Baltimore's winning. Yes. All right. Thank you, Brandon. That means, again, that was my, baseball's very superstitious, guys. So that's my superstition. We have a good season if they lose the opening day. So, all right. And Brandon, what did you think about the new baseball rules? They are new. For those of you who are baseball fans, let me know. It's going to be weird watching them now with the pitch counts. All right, so I'm almost done with the flowers. And again, I'm going really, really light on this. Really, really light. And that's with that Persian blue. Now, again, I have mixed media ink on this. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this out. So I just make sure this is cleaned up. So I just use my cloth and I just clean it off really good. All right, so now I'm going to grab a little bit of that warm sunshine. And I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to go ahead and right in the middle of these flowers, just to give them a little yellow halo and break up that green and that blue. So that's all I'm doing, is just kind of breaking those colors up. All right, it's a little hard to see where exactly all of this is. Here we go. And again, this is all going to be muted, so go ahead and add that ink. But again, I'm going very, very light-handed on this. And I'm going to clean that off as soon as I am done. Okay. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of green. So I need to grab a green guy. So let me grab a green guy. And I'm going to come in with, let me do Forest Glades. Again, this is a little bit of a darker green. And I'm just going to come in. There's some leaves in here. And this just helps to break up all like that entire sea of blue. So I'm just kind of looking around for where those little green sections are. And to be perfectly honest, it's really just going to be this mash of color of blues and yellows and greens. So feel free to just kind of dump that green anywhere. And because these are complementary, because these colors are next to each other in the color wheel, they work well together. And blue and yellow make green anyway. So it's going to go ahead and just have this nice little wash to it. All right, so this is where it's going to get. Now you did all that nice job and putting all of that really pretty color in there. I'm going to come in again, very, very, very light-handed. And I'm going to use Arctic. And what this is going to do is it's going to kind of pop everything up and off of here. In any little spaces like the backgrounds that I didn't get, this is going to get it. Light-handed. I'm not swiping everywhere. I'm just going really, really light over this. And it just kind of, I noticed when I did this, it just kind of helped it to glow a little bit. And it also helped to kind of, any places that I missed, it will just go ahead and go. Really, really light. Really, really light. Okay, now I'm going to very carefully take my piece of paper and I'm going to put it down. This is a one and done, so I'm a little focused in here. One, oh no, I just jumped it. Oh, I hope that went okay. One and done. All right, so I'm going to grab my machine. Because as you all know, we all craft in about 6 inches of space. So my machine was right there. And then I'm going to roll this through. Oh, and thank you so much, Jessica, for sharing this while we're live and being entered to win a $15 gift card to Altenew. And Angel is behind the badge today. So she is checking on comments and she will be choosing that winner very, very soon. All right, here we go. Crunch, 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 crunch. All right, I tend to kind of roll it through twice just because I'm a little extra and we gotta see what we get. All right, let me pull this down. All right, I'm gonna pull this off, put this away, and now we are going to pick this up. Oh God, I hope it worked. Ta-da! So just, it's pretty. It's pretty. I really like these colors together. They're gorgeous. And you can even take and swipe, if you want to, a little bit of that Arctic. If you just want to add just a little bit more color. Because this blue is so light. It's just going to kind of add just a little bit more to this. And again, I'm going really, really light on the top ridges of that. If you want to add even more blue, because I got a lot of green in this one, I can take my blending brush and I'm going to grab that sapphire, or sorry, excuse me, that Persian blue. And I'm just going to go really, really gentle in some little spots, just to add a little bit more depth of blue. But I love how light and pretty and airy this came out. And to be honest, I was wanting to use this as a congratulations as a wedding card because I just thought the colors were so pretty and so soft. I think they're home today, Brandon. The socks are home today. Yeah, isn't it, Jeanette? That blue. It's so pretty. And I agree, Angel. This one, like you can't see it sometimes because we look at these white on white, but when you add that color to it, it's so pretty. All right, so normally I let this dry a little bit, but we will be okay. Now, for those of you who are going to freak out when I cut this and when I cut this apart, look away now, look away now. Okay, just as a fair warning, it's coming. It is, the paper will not scream. We're going to put it back together again. It will be okay. All right, it will be okay. Now, I want to add in this congrats. So the congrats is coming from the script word die set. I love these because you get 3 words in here. This one has love, congrats, and hugs in it as a set. So you get all the 3 in here. And so I'm using this congrats. And what I really love about this is it's all one word. It's all one piece. You know how sometimes you get script words and it's like there's a letter off. These aren't. They're one piece. It's fabulous. All right. So I'm going to grab this. Of course, just because the show was not about me putting pieces of things together. I already took 2. This is 2 congrats in die cut in black. And I already put them out. So I want this to be at an angle. So all I'm doing is just kind of figuring out where I want that angle to be. And I'm just going to grab my ruler and I'm just going to very, very gently trace a line where I want this to be. I don't do well. I'm a teacher and I do science and stuff. The maths, they elude me a little bit. So sometimes it's just easier for me to figure things out this way. I also want that congrats to kind of hang over the edge. So I don't want it to be fully out, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and just use this as a little bit of a guideline. And this pencil, this is very, very light. So I can also come in and erase it. It's not a super big deal. All right, here we go. Turn away, cut away. Yes, Sue, thank you. All right, Sue's on board with the cutting. For those of you who cannot stand to watch this because I'm about to cut up this beautiful panel, look away now. So you can't see this, but I can see a little faint pencil line, and that is what I am going by. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so that's my faint pencil line. So that's one of my halves. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to do the next part. Now this, it's really how much, what's the size you want it to be. Like I said, I use that pencil line just to give me kind of a rough estimate, but it's fine. Whatever it kind of comes out, I want it to be organic. And so that's okay too. All right. I appreciate, Brandon, that you give me the scores. I really do appreciate that. I got to go downstairs and look them up. I've been at work all day, so I haven't been able to see them. All right. So now I'm going to grab a base piece of cardstock. Now I have not cut this down. Because I wanted to make sure that this size fit. So now I'm going to put my pieces together. So there's my top piece. And here is my bottom piece. And just to show you, here's my congrats. So it's going to fit nice right in the middle. So it's going to look great in that one. Yeah, exactly. Well, Nancy, I can't do stamp surgery, though. That hurts me. I do know stamps scream. Paper, I'm okay with. But stamps definitely do scream. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I want to put in just a little bit of washi tape. And I wanted to use a washi tape because I wanted to use this as a wedding card. I wanted to use a washi tape that had a little gold to it. So this is the gold string washi tape. This, by the way, I think is probably my hands down absolute favorite washi tape because I feel like you can use it as a background. You can use it as an accent. You can do a lot of things with this washi tape. Now, the tricky part here is I can't just put it straight across because my pieces are at an angle. So it's not going to be totally I'm going to end up with sections that just don't work. So I'm going to do my best to just follow the angle. And again, this is going to be behind those other pieces. So even though this is big, this is way much more than I possibly could need. It's all going to be hidden on the back of the card. So I'm okay with that. All right, so now I'm going to grab my gigantic scissors. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this. Okay. All right, and then we're going to assemble this together. And super easy. Again, it's just gorgeous on its own. Just absolutely gorgeous. And it just, I agree, Jeanette, it just gives it that like fun little vibe. I think that makes it kind of cool. All right, so now I'm going to grab, because this is bumpy, it's a little hard to glue on. So this is where I'm actually going to use my Altenew double-sided tape. Now this is the 1/2 inch, and I have the 1/4 inch as well. And I love and use both of them. So I just wanted to show you the difference. Obviously, like, well, a 1/2 inch is obviously bigger, but it really super nice way. Because I'm covering more surface area, I'm going to use the 1/2 inch on this one. So, and I have a little pencil edge, so I'm just going to grab my eraser and just go ahead and pull those through. And yeah, I agree, Jeanette. It's so quick to add a background or even an accent. Like, you know, if you have something like a big, huge floral and it feels like it's floating in space, a lot of times I will just add some washi tape to it and it really starts to ground that floral. All right, so I'm just taking off that little pencil line that I had before. And I think I'm okay. I want this to be a little bit bluer. Before I go kind of crazy, I'm just going to add a little Caribbean sky to this, just to give it a little bit more blue. Just feeling it looks a little washed out before I commit fully to gluing these things down. There we go. All right, I'm just going to do this back part. And again, this takes a little time to dry. So just be mindful of that as you're kind of putting these things together. It's a little bit of patience and a little bit of breathing as you go along. No, Brandon, I think the socks played at 1. At least my time, I should say. That's probably 12 o'clock your time. I think they played at 1. No, they didn't. They played at 2 o'clock today. So they might still be going. All right, so I'm going to grab the double-sided tape. And I'm just going to figure out where is my top and where is my bottom, because I did a terrible job of remembering that. And I think I like it like that. All right, so now I'm just going to grab this. This is, I have to say, I don't do well with fiddly bits of things, and I don't do well with like tape that doesn't tear. And that's what I really like this double-sided tape because it's really easy to tear and the paper comes off really easily. And again, it's going to hold because it is, you guys can't see what I'm doing. So it holds. It holds once it's there. I do like to use glue sometimes because it will get it like into position. So you can add a little bit of glue on top of this and that will help that. All right, so let me get this side done. So that's my bottom, and I think this is my top, and I'll double check before I pull anything off. So, and again, we have about 10 minutes, so let us know if you're sharing, and Angel is behind the badge today, so thank you so much, Angel, for putting all of these fabulous links into the chat. And I encourage you to go check out your washi stash, to check out the Altenew washi. I have to say, I have a lot of washi, and I really like the Altenew washi because of all the colors, and they don't rip. I don't know how to say this, but they don't rip like super easy. They're easy to work with, but sometimes I have washi that's just really kind of cheap, I guess. And gosh knows where I got it. I think I have some washis that are like 20 years old, and I'm still using them. All right, again, I'm just double checking that this is what I want it to be. This is what I want. Okay, that's my top, that's my bottom. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling these off. Again, really easy. And I have trouble with this stuff. Don't like it. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me, but this stuff I don't mind. Don't know why. No idea. Did you color on the embossed or debossed side? I did say before, Sherry, but please, thank you so much for putting questions in, because sometimes, as we say in teaching, if you have a question, somebody else does too. I put color on the side where the writing is. Okay, so I put color on the side where the writing is. Yeah, Roxy, you have washi that was passed down to you. That's crazy. All right, well, I hope that we're inspiring you to use it here. And you can see I'm just kind of putting both of these cards up because I know they have the same width. And I'm just gently putting them together, double checking that they're going to hit. And then once I'm like certainly sure, then I'm going to pound it and get that sucker on there. Okay. All right, so now let me do the other side. And then after this, I think I have time to show you guys some examples. So I'll show you some examples that I pulled, and I hope we'd love to see what you guys make. So please share what you're doing, your card creations with the hashtag Altenew, so that way we can see it, because we want to see what you make. All right, and then this is going right here this way. And that is lined up. I mean, that's just even pretty on its own. It's just so pretty. Yeah, the pounding. You got to do that, Nancy. You got to do the pounding technique, or else it doesn't stay on, You got to do it. All right, so one thing I'm going to add here is this is the 1/2-inch gold foil. Now, I have had this, golden trim. This is golden trim. This is, mine for some reason is like not very, very super sticky. So there's two things you can do. I can put a layer of that 1/4 inch down and this will sit right on top of it. But what I do is I just grab a little bit of glue. Ooh, Valdez. Okay. Thanks, Brandon. Brandon's keeping me up with the box scores. Brandon, I like the fact that you're also a baseball fan. I think that's awesome. Do we have any other baseball fans out there in the audience? As today is opening day. And did you cut it and when you covered it? So what I did for the card, Brandon, I cut it before. So I cut it and took this little strip out, and then I went ahead and covered it. So I didn't do anything until I took that little this little strip out, and I used my sentiment. So I made sure that I had my sentiment, and then I used that when I was ready. Now, again, this is going to take a little bit of time to dry, so I'm not going to be super crazy, but I am going to come and cut this off. Again, I'm being really, really super patient and trying not to do. And Nancy, of course you are, San Francisco Giants. And Kerry, the Blue Jays from British Columbia. Of course, Blue Jays. They play the Sox. They always beat the Sox, too. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm just going to come in. And I love this little edge, and I'm just going to pull it up just so we can admire it for a second while this is drying. Okay, so let me just, again, I'm going to be really, really careful. And this is just me. When I first had this, I've had it for 5 years or more, and it's just kind of lost its stickiness, so I just add a little extra. I just do a little extra help with this. I'm just going to cut off these edges so they're nice and even with my paper. Okay, so I just want to put this up for a second and just let you admire it. So because you have that beautiful background, but it's a lot. It's just a lot, that flower bed. And so what by adding, kind of breaking it up and then adding that nice gold string washi and then the trim washi, it just really, I think it kind of elevates it. So I'm going to do one thing, because I could put this in black, which looks really, really super nice, but I want to step this up just a little bit. So I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock, and I'm actually going to cover this entire cardstock because I'm going to start the third card, but I'm not going to finish the third card with you too. So, oh, did it, Nancy? It lost the gold trim? Yeah, I have to do a little, I got to do a little gluing. What else I can say? And I have to say from Jessica, That is super funny. Translating baseball from Sweden does not work so well. And thank you, Cece. Thank you, Sherry. And thank you, Angel. I really, really love that background. It's so pretty. All right. So what I do with these, and I have to do this on under the camera, which I usually like to use the edge of my mat. But I will grab my piece of cardstock, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right next to my roll, and I'm just going to lay it right down flat. And that's how I do it without getting any little bumps. There's no bumps. A couple of bumps here. You didn't see those. Those are little bumps. So I'm just going to cut this very, very quickly. And I love this background. This is the blue watercolor wide washi. So you can see it covers an entire card front. Really, really super nice. And I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to cut these little edges. Boom, boom. And this makes such a lovely background for a sea, like a water scene, or even a sky. Can you see that as a sky? Because it's got this little ombre effect to it. It is really, really super pretty. So I like this as a nice background. Okay, so I'm just going to close over. All right, so as before, I am going to cut this. You just cut this little edge off and this little edge. And I'm going to come right over here. And I want to cut this on a diagonal, but I want to leave like quite a bit to it. So I think I want to cut it right about there. Okay. So this is the top of my card there. It's obviously going in the wrong angle, but that's fine. We'll work through it. So I'm just going to really super quickly run this through. So even though this is a scrap piece, I'm going to run this through my little mini blossom here with my congrats die. And that way I can get my blue top without having to do anything else. I'm using it for another card, so it's just a little scrap. So I'm just going to run this through real quick right here. Oh, scissors. Sherry, these are the Tim Holtz like giganto scissors. I think they're like 9 inches or something crazy. But they're nice because of the fact that they're the Tim Holtz ones. So they're big. They're nice and big. And they don't get gunked up. All right, so here's my little congrats. Comes out as one piece. And that's what I'm going to put onto this card. So that's my cards for today, guys. I hope that this inspired you to kind of try something else with washi. And you can see my card over here on the side with the boho vases, whichever way you happen to say that. So that's my congrats. So see it with the blue. So pretty. So that's it with the blue. So pretty. And that's just the the die. That's it. I wanted to show you one thing if we can, Angel, while I know we are right at time. And I did a similar card, but I did it in pink with black. So I just wanted to show that just really, really quickly. And I also wanted to show this. This is the glitter flurries. I did an ellipse on that one. I like to do washi and I like to do ellipses. So that's where you can see, or excuse me, eclipse. And that it's really super nice because it's really pretty with that one. And then this is the gold string washi with poinsettias. And I think I did that on a live before, but that's on there. And then, but those are some ways that I really love to use washi tape. And even like I said before, it's just a nice little accent with a flower. Because it really starts to hold it. And then this is another one. I think I also did this on the left. It's just that washi tape that's in the background. So it's really, really super easy to use. So those are my cards. So we have the Bohemian Rhapsody. I use the embossing folder. And then this is the card I didn't get to. But this is that washi in the background. And I use this boho vases die set. So that's just that die set, and I just cut that out of this washi tape. Really, really super nice washi tape. And then these little guys are also out of washi tape, which I can't find now. And here it is. Really, really cute. This is round art washi tape. And then this hello, because I love this stamp set. It's from Monstera's in quotes. So that's what that one. So Nancy, yes. Thank you guys. This is so awesome. Angel, thank you so much for being behind the badge today. I really appreciate it. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for being here. And thank you, Brandon, for telling me all those baseball scores. So I hope you guys, yes, I'm so glad, Sherry, that you should try that washi tape and see, check it out. Try these different things. I heat embossed that hello. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not. That's heat embossed. Just got to be a little careful, but that's white heat embossed on there. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye, everybody.